back to the Mega Drive after a sojourn with the Dreamcast for a few videos. Data East made this one. Not a game I've ever played before or really heard of at all. In fact, I've already forgot the name of it. Atomic Runner, that was it. So, no expectations at all. Obviously, straight away we put this to easy if we can work out. There we go. Yeah, no idea what the game is. I'm assuming it's just a platformer. Chelnov was a young scientist. He lived and worked side by side with his father and his sister, and together they led a happy, peaceful life. But the harmony of their lives was about to be ripped open. It's just, you have to put an accent on, don't you? He went out for a nighttime jog. I weren't anticipating that. Well, it's got quite a in-depth story here. The Death-Tarians. That is a very enemy-sounding enemy, you have to say. I'd love to sit in the Toad meetings where they're coming up with the names for enemies in games like this. The Death-Tarians. Wow. Oh, so okay, so some kind of... Oh, this is weird. Very weird. So, I'm constantly being pushed forward, basically. The screen is insisting on my movement. I seem to only be able to shoot... Oh, I'm dead. This one's going to be interesting, to say the least. So it's not... The directional control is really weird. I can only kind of shoot diagonally forwards and backwards when I roll. Dead again. Right. Okay. It feels like quite a difficult game. Straight away. Almost like an endless runner, in a way. You know, I'm just... I don't know what these power-ups are giving me either. Okay, it looks like my beam has got a bit wider from those. Right. So it's one-hit kill for me with anything. Evidenced again there. Game over. Right. Less than 3 minutes on the clock and we've had a game over. And we're on easy. We'll give it another go, of course. I never judge a book by its cover. Not straight away, anyway. You know, I don't want to assume my current thoughts are accurate for the entire game. So let's just have a look. Must be more to it than that. Must be doing something wrong, surely. There we go, look! I can turn around, not by turning as would make sense with my directional controls, but at the click of a button I can turn around, thus being able to shoot what comes for me from the rear. Interesting mechanic. Very interesting mechanic. It doesn't necessarily make it much easier though, because it really doesn't control well when you're attempting to make the character move to face the opposite way. God. Yeah, I know nothing of this game. It's not one I've ever heard talked about. For better or worse. But it's interesting. I'll give it that. It's certainly an interesting game. And the fact it came from Data East made me expect a little bit more than I'm getting, if I'm honest. For anyone who doesn't know, they've done some fantastic games over the years, one of which was a personal favourite of mine on the Super Nintendo, Joe and Mac. And they also did things like, I think they did Cobra Command, right? Quite a few, you know, the Joe and Mac's what I always link them to in my head. But, I've got a boomerang now, okay. Making a bit more progress here, I'll say that much. It's quite fun, in a way I wasn't anticipating at first. It's definitely a game you need to get the hang of. The controls are really weird. The fact that you have to press a button to turn, I can't kind of tell you how weird that is to get your head round. Oh, you see you can bop on heads. I should probably use that a little bit more than I am. I don't really understand the upgrade system. It looks like there is one. I mean, it's effectively a horizontal shoot 'em up. You know, the fact that the screen's pushing me forward and everything, it's very much like that, mixed with a platformer. It's quite an original game. I know that you look at it and you just think, no, it's not. It's a platformer where you shoot and it's like eSWAT or any other game of its ilk. But the fact that it's pushing you physically forwards at all times makes it more of an arcadey experience. Makes it more like an R-Type or something along those lines. Excuse me. Okay, so whoop. Oh, it's another boss. I guess these are like mini bosses that we fired one, fought one, sorry, a little bit ago. I think they're more or less just obstacles, really, aren't they? 'Cause okay, acted as a little bit of a platform to get me across as well. Very weird character design and storyline and enemies. Everything's very crazy looking, which I like. You know, like, it feels like a very... Oh! Now we've got a proper boss. Look at this guy. Again, very R-type boss. So it looks like his attack is there, where he pushes his head forward. Okay, I think I've got it down. I think I understand. Now, jump. There we go. Not a hard one. There we go. Boom. A game that I was very much of the opinion I'd be getting nowhere on. I've at least got past the first level. Oh, there's a whole list of levels. So you can see there's a boss on each level by the look of it there. Very interesting. And not a bad game at all. I like its... Gee, that's the annoying thing though, on Game Over. The responsiveness for the turnaround button is terrible. And that just kills it, like you see there, which killed me. I turned around and I couldn't turn back around. I was hammering that button. What a peculiar game this is. Let's just have a go on hard, because I'm very curious how much harder it is, if at all. So let's have a look. Obviously I've learnt a little bit more about how the game plays since I was last at this area, so maybe that will help me a little bit. I'm just curious sometimes to see if the hard mode really is harder or if it's just less lives, etc. Oh, I'm dead. So I do think there were more enemies on screen for the first few areas in the game compared to when we played it on easy, so I think that's the big difference. It's one it killed regardless, just as it was prior. Very interesting game. Yeah, I think I've got my fill of Atomic Runner. Just a bit of an oddity, really. Not a game I've ever heard any discussion of, I've never seen mentioned, but it's very original. You know, don't be put off by the fact that it just looks like a standard side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. It's got some strange quirks to it, which I quite appreciate, really. Not by any means a classic or a game I'm up for playing a lot of, but it's not bad at all.